Live, studios in Midland and Odessa, you're watching CBS7 First Alert News at 9 on the CW West Texas.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for CBS7 News on the CW. And thanks to those of you joining us live from the CBS7 YouTube. I'm Laura Munt, and our top story tonight has been developing all day. A man has led multiple law enforcement agencies on a multi-county chase. He's now leading that chase on foot after crashing 2 cars and murdering a homeowner in West Odessa. According to Sergeant Stephen Blanco, the suspect is on foot near Mertzen in Orion County. He's said to be armed and dangerous. Here's everything we know about the hours-long chase. According to the Ector County Sheriff's Office, a white male suspect entered a house in the 5700 block of Greenway in Ector County just before 10:30 this morning. He got into a fight with the homeowner that ended with the suspect shooting and killing them, then stealing his black Mustang. Around 10:50 a.m., City of Odessa officials say police were flagged down near Highway 80 and Faudree by a person who says that they were shot by the suspect in the Mustang. City of Midland officials says the suspect drove through Midland, then headed south towards San Angelo. That's where they crashed the Mustang, and according to Ector County Sheriff Mike Griffiths, stole a tan Chevy Tahoe, which he then later crashed into a pasture. He then continued to run away from law enforcement officers on foot. He's still on the run at this hour, and law enforcement is working to track him down and arrest him. This is a developing story, and as we said, the suspect is again now thought to be near Mertzen. That's in Orion County. Stick with CBS7 on air and online as we learn more. And it's a CBS7 First Alert Weather Day. Let's get an update on the night's conditions from meteorologist Sawyer McElroy. Sawyer?
It's been a windy, warm, and a little wet for some out there today, but we are still looking to see those strong winds and fire weather conditions for the next couple of hours. A high wind warning continues through the early morning hours of Tuesday for these areas in purple for wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour, and the wind advisory for those areas in tan also until the early morning hours of Tuesday for wind gusts up to 55 miles per hour. That red flag warning continues for about another hour till 9 p.m. Mountain Time, 10 p.m. Central Time for those areas in red because of those strong winds and low relative humidities out there. So please avoid outdoor burning and activities that may cause sparks at least over the next hour, hour and a half. Here's a look at our current winds across the region, anywhere from about 5 to 25 miles per hour across the region. We have seen them calming down in spots, but still elevated across the western portion of the region, and gusts still, at least in southeast New Mexico, up to about 35 miles per hour out there this evening. Pecos seeing gusts up to about 24 miles per hour. Andrews up to about 18 miles per hour. Temperatures, though, still on the warm side, 70s, 80s, 90s, and a few triple digits still out there. Currently 84 in Odessa, 83 in Midland, 73 in Marfa, 72 in Alpine, 87 in Presidio. And here's a look at satellite and radar. We did have some showers and thunderstorms for eastern portions of the region earlier today. Those have cleared out, and we are looking at quiet conditions and clear skies out there tonight. So it is a decent evening. Like I said, though, still on the warm side. As we head through tonight, we are going to see temperatures a little bit cooler than we've been seeing the past couple of nights. So we are going to see some 40s and 50s as we head into the early morning hours of our Tuesday. It's a little bit cooler there. I know I'm looking forward to that. But here's our 3-day forecast. Tuesday, we are still going to see breezy conditions, not quite as bad as today, and a little bit cooler for our high temperatures because we had a cold front rolling through the area this evening. So we are going to see high temperatures slightly cooler than we've been seeing the past couple of days. But then Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to see those temperatures warming back up into the upper 80s and 90s.
Thank you, Sawyer. Across West Texas, even though that we haven't reached triple digits yet, it's still really hot. And last week, Terrell County Emergency Services received 3 911 distress calls. Those 3 calls came from illegal migrants who were attempting to cross the border, all in the harsh conditions and hot temperatures. This type of situation is happening all along the Texas border, leading politicians on both sides of the aisle to call for change.
And since this administration has taken over, we've had a total of 37 deaths of people trying to cross the border illegally here in Terrell County, both Republican and Democrat administrations, and they all work together to progress border security. What we're seeing right now is a complete standstill in border security.
As of October of 2023, Terrell County had 10 deaths from people crossing the border. And Midland Police Chief Seth Herman has been named a finalist for Chief of Police in Lubbock. That's according to our sister station, KCBD. Herman began his career with the Midland Police Department as a patrol officer and has served as the Chief of Police since 2018. 4 other officers are being considered for the spot. Information on all of the candidates and more details about the vacant Lubbock Police Chief position you can go to our website, CBS7.com. Tonight was the annual Evening with the Judges, a dinner put on by the Midland Bar Association benefiting the legal aid of Northwest Texas. The company safeguards the rights of low-income individuals across 114 counties in North and West Texas. Their goal is guaranteeing proper access to justice, and they offer no-cost legal help through legal representation and advocacy. And they'll take any case that falls under civil assistance.
It can even mean answering one phone call. It can even mean having an attorney review documents. Before you sign them, you always want an attorney to review them. It can be to us even drafting documents. It can be us filling out documents on your behalf, to even full representation in court.
Legal Aid of Northwest Texas does not assist with criminal malpractice or any case where the goal is monetary gain. For information on how to apply for legal aid, you can find the story on our website or on our CBS7 First Alert News app. And it's Child Abuse Awareness Month, and today 5 people were sworn in as the newest CASA of West Texas volunteers. CASA approved volunteers are appointed special advocates who help abused children entering foster care, and they have to go through 40 hours of training before taking an oath. The oath is a promise to support and advocate for a child or sibling group for the duration of their case and help them navigate the changes in their life.
And so what happens a lot is foster kids just fall through the cracks. Their needs aren't being met. They can kind of be forgotten or lost in a crazy system. But with a CASA volunteer, that is someone who is constantly in that child's life. It's a constant adult presence that child can count on. And because children have CASA volunteers, they know that their needs are still going to be met. They know that they're going to have someone by their side walking through the system and that they're not alone.
Now, you don't need a background in law or social work in order to be a volunteer. CASA volunteers serve 7 West Texas counties. For more information on becoming a volunteer, you can visit the CASA of West Texas website. And if you still need dinner plans tonight, it is not too late to head to Blue Sky. They don't close till 10 o'clock. The Permian Basin Moms of Multiples is collaborating with Blue Sky in Midland in order to raise funds for its organization. A portion of each sale at Blue Sky in Midland all day today will go towards the nonprofits that provide services for moms of multiples. This can be mothers that have twins, triplets, quintuplets, and so on.
Raising any child is difficult, one child or more, but being a child or being a parent, of multiple children at the same time from the same birth is its unique challenge. So our organization offers that extra support for those mothers.
Like I said, Blue Sky will be open until 10 o'clock tonight, so you've still got a little less than an hour to get there. Information about the Moms of Multiples can be found on our website, that's CBS7.com. And in your education news, Kermit ISD has announced the new interim superintendent. The district announced that Dr. Rodney Schneider will fill the role. And according to KISD, Dr. Schneider has over 34 years of experience, and it's not his first time working as superintendent. He previously worked at Dublin ISD. And May 4th is going to be an important date for the future of Big Spring ISD. That's the day a $219 million bond for the district will be voted on. If the bond passes, Prop A will include the construction of a new high school, HVAC replacements, a new band and music hall at Goliad Elementary, and more. Prop B will add stadium lighting and an 8-lane track at Memorial Stadium. This bond also includes a new maintenance and transportation shop, as well as drainage at 4 elementary schools.
So we're doing what we call a reconfiguration, and this has nothing to do with the bond, Noe. We're going to do this because we also think this is educationally sound. It helps vertically align our kids much better, and it helps to utilize our space of each building.
Early voting begins next Monday and ends on the 30th of this month, leading up to Election Day on May 4th. And speaking of elections, let's look ahead to the May 2024 special election. The Midland City Council at-large seat will be on the ballot, and there are 5 candidates. Those 5 men will be talking about their goals in a debate on Basin PBS this Thursday, April 18th. CBS7's Mary Kate Hamilton will be moderating that debate. But if you miss it, don't worry. You can catch it again on KWWT My 30, Tuesday, April 30th at 7 p.m. In your oil and gas news on Friday, a group of UTBB petroleum engineering students got some real-world experience in the oil and gas industry. 20 students visited Dawn Nan Pump and Supply, where they heard from current employees and learned the ins and outs of all things pump related.
Talked about sucker rod pumps and rod pump in general, because it all ties together. You can't talk about rod pumps without talking about rods, pump jack, controls.
Opportunities like this allow the students to have a hands-on learning experience.
I think that seeing it in person, seeing it in the field is much more easily digestible versus seeing it on just a slide.
During the tour, students received a tour of the facility and watched the employees tear down and rebuild a pump. And the latest government inflation report confirmed a lot of what you drivers might be thinking. It's really expensive to drive a car right now, even as the cost of new and used autos have fallen off their peaks. What's pushing up those costs? Karen Kafa has the details from Washington.
An uptick in gas prices helped fuel overall inflation last month, but that wasn't the only auto-related driver. According to the March report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, auto insurance costs have spiked 22% over the last 12 months. Auto maintenance and repair costs are up 8.2%. Greg Brannon, director of automotive research for AAA, says insurers simply have more costs to cover.
One thing that we can't ignore when it comes to the cost of insuring a vehicle is that cars are more expensive today than they were years ago.
And while prices for new and used vehicles have fallen off of pandemic-era peaks, newer features that make a car safer, Brannon says, like advanced driver assistance systems, make repairs more specialized.
They also make it a little bit more expensive to repair. And it's not just that. Labor rates are up at body shops and repair shops around the cost of parts. And it's also often that you're having to wait for those parts to arrive.
Brannon says drivers looking for some relief can effort lower mileage by carpooling, for example, but don't cut corners on maintenance.
When things are tight, it's actually more important to do that maintenance then, because you're less likely to be surprised by a big repair bill, and the vehicle is also more likely to perform well and get the fuel economy that you're looking for.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Still ahead, one person was killed and 13 others injured after a deadly crash in the Texas Department of Public Safety building. The latest details next here at 9. Across Texas, law enforcement officers are investigating a deadly crash into a Texas Department of Public Safety building. This happened last Friday, and authorities say the driver intentionally rammed into the structure. One person was killed and 13 others injured. Jen Sullivan has details on what led up to the crash.
Terrifying moments in a Texas Department of Public Safety branch Friday morning. A driver ramming an 18-wheeler into the building.
This is a criminal investigation.
This happened in Brenham, about 70 miles northwest of Houston. The suspect, 42-year-old Clenard Parker. Authorities say he stole the semi-truck and was being chased by law enforcement before slamming into the building. One person was killed and 13 others injured.
This is a tragic day for us. Tragic day. My heart and goes out. My heart and prayers goes out to the family members.
Brenham's mayor saying the toll could have been much worse. The suspect seemed to have backed up with the intent of ramming the building a second time.
Our fire chief mentioned that if he had veered a little bit to the left the second time, there would have been a collapse of that building, which would have resulted in a lot more injuries and possible death.
It's unknown what caused the suspect to allegedly steal the 18-wheeler, but police did say Parker tried to renew his commercial driver's license at this location Thursday, but was denied. Authorities say he now faces multiple felony charges, but they wouldn't give details. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Well, it was a windy and warm one out there today. The good news is we are looking at calmer and cooler conditions for our Tuesday. I'll have all the details and what to expect coming up after the break.
This is a CBS 7 First Alert Weather Day. Now, an update from meteorologist Sawyer McElroy.
Good evening and happy Monday, everybody. The good news is most of our weather alerts have been allowed to expire. We do still have that red flag warning until 9 p.m. Mountain Time, 10 p.m. Central Time this evening for those areas in red. So that does include portions of West Texas into southeast New Mexico. That does include the Odessa area, Fort Davis, Alpine, Marfa, Presidio, all those areas in red for low relative humidities and some gusty winds. So please avoid outdoor burning and activities that may cause sparks, especially within the next half hour or so. Here's a look at our max wind gusts so far today. Definitely kind of stronger in the northern Permian Basin and into southeast New Mexico. Up to 41 miles per hour today in Hobbs, 53 miles per hour in Carlsbad, 40 miles per hour in Wink. Odessa saw gusts up to 32 miles per hour, Midland 35 miles per hour, and then a little less strong the further southeast you went. Here's a look at our current winds, anywhere from about 5 to 25 miles per hour, still kind of stronger into southeast New Mexico at the present time. And that's also where we're seeing our strongest gusts, with gusts up to about 32 miles per hour still in Hobbs, 37 miles per hour in Carlsbad. Andrews is seeing gusts up to about 18 miles per hour. and Pecos is still seeing gusts up to about 24 miles per hour. But other than that, we are looking to see those winds kind of calming down out there. Here's a look at our observed highs across the state today. 80s and 90s out there. We saw some of the warmer weather once again today across West Texas and into southeast New Mexico. And there was kind of a nice little line. Alamogordo was 81 today, but then as you headed east to Carlsbad, about 90 degrees for the high today. We reached 94 in Odessa, 93 in Midland, 97 in Presidio, and 88 in Marfa. Currently, temperatures still on the mild side to warm side in the 70s, 80s, and 90s out there. 84 currently in Odessa, 83 in Midland, 73 in Marfa, and 88 in Presidio. We did have some showers, especially and thunderstorms, especially across the far eastern Permian Basin, but those have moved out, and we're even seeing clear skies out there and quiet conditions for us for a Monday evening. As we head through tonight, going to see those quiet conditions continuing, clear skies as well. A little bit of cloud cover rolling through the area tomorrow, but overall looking to see mostly sunny skies, quiet conditions, and a little bit cooler behind a cold front that we're looking to see move through the area through the overnight hours. For tonight, going to see those temperatures dropping into the 40s and 50s, so a little bit cooler even overnight than we have been seeing, with temperatures to 53 in Midland, 56 in Odessa, 46 in Marfa, 59 in Presidio. Winds still a little bit breezy, with those sustained winds anywhere from about 10 to 35 miles per hour, looking to calm down, especially after the midnight hours. For tomorrow, also going to be on the breezy side, but overall not too bad, especially compared to today. Winds anywhere from about 10 to 20 miles per hour. High temperatures slightly cooler into the 80s across the region, looking to see a high of about 81 in Marfa and Alpine, 85 in Midland, 87 in Odessa, 89 in Presidio. Here's a look at our CBS7 First Alert exclusive 10-day forecast. Wednesday and Thursday, we start to see those temperatures warming back up again into the 90s by Thursday before we start to see our next cold front roll through the area Thursday evening, packing a little bit more of a punch than the one that we're looking at today, bringing some much cooler temperatures, with temperatures into the 60s and 70s by the end of the work week and into the weekend, and some decent rain chances to the region that look to span a couple of days.
The University of Iowa's basketball star is officially in the WNBA. We take a look at Caitlin Clark's first round draft selection next here on CBS 7 News at 9. In a move that was highly anticipated, Caitlin Clark has officially taken her talents to the WNBA. She was the #1 pick in tonight's draft, selected by the Indiana Fever.
With the first pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
She was the all-time leading scorer in the NCAA Division I basketball, and she now turns to a professional career. The 22-year-old will try to resurrect an Indiana Fever franchise that hasn't made the postseason since 2016.
She's already had an impact, and we hadn't even drafted her. So let's see what's going to happen now that we've drafted her. She's coming to Indianapolis. She's going to be an integral part of the Indiana Fever, and I can't wait to see Boston and Mitchell and Clark. Wow, and Smith, on to all of them.
I'm so excited to play for the Indiana Fever. I think they're an organization that does things the right way. I think they're an organization that, wants women's basketball to be really, really good. They invest in it, they support it, and obviously I expect our arena to be pretty sold out most of the year, or have a ton of fans a lot of the year, and that's what makes it fun.
Clark's first preseason game with the Fever is May 3rd in Dallas.
All right, well, it's been warm the past couple of days. I know I haven't been too big of a fan of it, but Lauren, what have you thought of the warm weather?
It's definitely been an adjustment. I feel like we've had some windy days, a little bit chillier, and I'm not ready for it. It's going to hit the 110 soon, and I'm just not prepared.
Yeah, some spots like Rio Grande Village, Terlingua have reached the triple digits already. I know it was like 107 yesterday when I was doing the weather at one point, so it's definitely starting to get warm. I know the changes are definitely crazy. It's very dry outside. We did have the strong
my
winds
allergies
today.
are feeling it.
Yes, I have this crazy cough that won't go away. Everybody in the newsroom knows about it. But the good news is we are going to see some cooler weather for our Tuesday because we have a cold front making its way across the region today. But the 90s are back by Wednesday and Thursday. But the good news is as we head through the end of this week and into the weekend, some 60s and 70s.
All right, well, thanks for watching CBS 7 News at 9 on the CW. We've got more news coming up tonight.